Good morning. Wake up time. It is time to wake up. When you
It's
hear that
time to get
alarm
it.
go off, when
Hey,
that alarm start going off, first of all, your body already do a because you know it's like 5-10 minutes before that alarm go up. Your body always do that wake up, right? And when that you like on that left eye, you corner eye and look at the clock to see what that clock says, and then you like, oh, I got 5 more minutes, and you like, let me hurry up, let me get this 5 minutes. I'm gonna get this 5 minutes.
Take
It's
every
only
minute.
five.
Yeah, listen, I can relate to that so much right now, but I don't have a clock. It's on my phone. So what happens now is I don't even lift my head. The alarm goes off and I just take it and I slap it on the bed and it automatically snoozes for me. It gives me an extra 5.
so we got a system over here downtown. I might mine is on my phone too, so I might get up and
Mine is the
sometimes
phone
it be a
too. I
little
don't think I
early,
have
and
nobody
then
has actual real clocks. Does
I think
people still?
parents.
yeah,
I think
I
my
don't,
parents
I'm
still
I
do.
don't
sure they
think
do.
those
I'm pretty sure
exist
some
anymore.
folks do, but
Yeah. Now my grandmother definitely has her alarm.
mhm.
But and hold on, y'all. I have to get a big shout out to my grandpa. I forgot to give him a shout out on here. My granddad turned 94 years old
Aw,
yesterday.
happy
94
birthday.
years old. And this man is a good, like, he ain't crippled like that. He goes, he still drives, he's still marrying people, he's still ordaining people's
So he's
homes.
94 years young. He's not
Yes.
94 years
Okay.
Yes,
old.
Thank
young,
you.
He's
He's
94
yes,
he's
years young.
94 years old, and he still will
sweetheart.
crack a joke on you in a heartbeat, 2 point seconds. And guess
And
what?
don't
He
play about
just
that
loves
phone.
me. He loves his submissive. Oh,
That that's the only reason why she went through all that, just so she can let us know that he loved him some missing Natasha.
he do. He
She
loves.
does.
He
She was like,
loves
He's
the
spoiled.
she
He's
cut it
Michigan.
spoiled.
off.
He's spoiled you, hasn't he?
Yes, girl,
He's-
all the way,
You
all
know,
the
listen
way.
to
I'm
you.
I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed. If I
Mm.
call him right now, I'm like, "Boo, I'm on the way. I'm on the way. It's gonna take him an hour. He only like 30.
Happy birthday, Grandpa. Good morning, everybody. Thank y'all for
But yeah,
being
okay,
on.
we can go now. I had to
Look,
get my little shine. So go look at him on Facebook. Him and my grandmama. They so cute. They so cute
they
because
are.
they
They
so.
look really cute together.
Oh,
And I
okay,
love
Angela, you can
that
have it back.
he be so into, he be in his phone looking at it, doing stuff. I'm like,
He playing his games.
ain't nothing slow about him. I tell you, he
Wow.
is such a good man. And your grandmother has,
He
they
is
both
playing
hit the
all his
jackpot.
games.
I'm not going to say
Aw.
she hit the jackpot. They both hit the jackpot
Yes.
when
Jackpot.
they got
Now,
each
one thing for sure, he gonna take a million naps on you. He came to. I remember when he
That's
came
the
to one
longevity.
of our.
Listen, that's the secret to
other.
longevity is he's having these multiple naps. Maybe the rest of us need to try that so we can
Baby,
live
they
a little longer.
to us when we were little kids. We used to have to do nap time in kindergarten, and
And we hated it.
they tried to tell us, but we thought we was missing out. So
Yep.
we didn't want to do it. But that is
Yes, I was
this is
speaking. One
grand.
day I was speaking, y'all, and it was like a multiple people speaking, right? He said, my grandma was like, I had to wake your granddaddy up because it was your turn. But when it was your turn, he was just sitting there just cheesing the whole time. And as soon as you went off, he went
He went
right
back to
back.
sleep.
And he's like, "Now wait me up when I miss to get on, and then I'm gonna go on back to
That's
bed."
exactly what he said. When Missy come,
I
wake me
love
up.
it.
Miss
But can
Patricia
you
said she's
imagine 1932?
1982. That's good.
He
That's
was
good.
born in
Oh, goodness.
1932. Can y'all imagine 1932?
That's the year Alcoholics Anonymous was born.
Really? Wow.
Hmm
1932.
Yeah.
1932.
Well,
hmm
that's what I'm talking about. 94 years. I'm saying 94 years to still be able to do technology with cell phone, to still drive, to still, you know what I'm saying? Like he does all that.
Grocery shops.
Yeah. That's just
Look,
a beautiful thing. So in the name of Jesus, I pray we all have a Mr. Wall spirit
Amen.
on us where when we get that age, we're still able to move and do and comprehend and drive. You know what I'm saying? Because there's some people that's 54 and
yeah,
need to be off the road. So
yes.
Listen, I got a solution. I got a solution for that. If we work
what's
on
that?
our past issues, like we were talking about earlier.
Come on, Natashah. Come on.
Y'all, one thing too that I have noticed, so y'all know me and Sparkle just be running our mouth and we be on here, we'll keep on going, right? Natashah is so gentle and she's so calm and laid back.
She is. I want to be like her.
However, yesterday she was like, okay, I hear y'all talking, I know what y'all doing, but what I'm gonna do is bring us back to reality. And so yeah,
She just
so
did that
anyway,
She just
see how she did today? See how smooth the transition was? She was like, so getting back to what we was really talking about and why we on here. I know happy birthday, Mr. Walls, and 94 is good and taking a nap. But the reason why he can do that is I love it. Baby, come on, Natashah, tell us about it.
Everybody needed Natashah in her.
Everybody needs a Natashah in their life. Natashah said, well, okay, I done listen to y'all, but what we're not going to do is take this 35 minutes. Come on.
Not at all. Happy birthday to your grandpa. much love to your grandpa. But no, you were just stepping in.
But we're going to get back to the subject. Now, Natashah, what are we learning today?
Well,
because we're not learning that this man is 94 years old.
Well, part of his 94 years old, I'm really glad that we opened with that. You know, the last couple of days, God has just been leading us to what we need to be talking about. And he's 94 because he has learned to take care of himself over the years. He is doing things that we don't know about. We might joke about those multiple naps, but he's resting. He's giving his mind, he's giving his body time to rest. And I'm almost certain Grandpa ain't involved in the drama. Right?
He's not.
Angela.
Zero. He has, and he's not going to complain. He's not going to fuss at you. Zero.
Exactly. So he just kind of lets that go. Angela just talked about your grandmother didn't hit the jackpot. They both hit the jackpot. So he had a partner who was equated to him or equally yoked to him.
She's the biggest complainer. She's the biggest drama.
But look at how he dealt with her.
Into that, he allows himself to let it be like a water rolling off a duck's back. That I can let you act a donkey all day long. That doesn't mean I have to get into that.
That's
I can
true.
sit there and say, you know what, Lord, I know you're gonna work it out for her.
He'd be like, okay, Bonnie. I mean, literally, he's like, okay, Bonnie.
but deep inside,
you can be an active participant without actually being an active participant. Sure. Like I'm here and I'm listening, but I'm not allowing it to get down into my DNA where now I'm all over the place and now I can't get my thoughts together and now I'm angry and slamming doors. We're not doing that. I'm gonna let you vent and say what you say.
So Angela, you're walking right into what I wanted to talk about. So I don't know if anybody's ever heard of something called the vagus nerve.
The vagus nerve.
VAGUS, the vagus nerve.
And come on, Vegas.
The vagus nerve actually ties into, it's connected to affecting mood, which is what Angela's talking about right now. But it's also tied to a couple of things: heart, digestion, breathing, and then of course what you just mentioned, the regulating of your mood, right? It's actually attached to the stem of your brain and runs down this way. It's connected to I want to make sure that I get my notes right. It's connected to the parasympathetic nervous system. So you have two parts of a nervous system: a sympathetic and a parasympathetic. I know these are big words and everybody's like, Natashah, it's 7:00 in the morning. This is just too much for me. I say take the note down and go research it later.
I can remember Vegas.
But we're gonna use your grandpa as an example of the things that he may be doing. You think about, he's been doing that over a period of his life. He is doing things that learns to calm the vagus nerve. And with the vagus nerve, that means he's able to have good heart health. He's able to have good digestion, good breathing, learning on how to regulate his mood. So Dr. Sparkle, you and I were talking offline earlier, and I was talking about how many of us have medical issues, right? Forget psychological, forget the depression, forget the anxiety. We're talking about heart issues, liver issues, all these chronic illnesses, or a lot of people I'm noticing more commonly having autoimmune diseases. That's what they're being diagnosed with.
Yes, that is
and
true.
Again,
it is.
Anybody listening out there, we're not doctors, and kind of like, what Dr. Sparkle said yesterday, I'm not trying to play doctor, and I'm not trying to say that doctors are wrong, but we're getting more and more diagnoses of this autoimmune disease, which if you learn more about the vagus nerve, the vagus nerve is triggered when you experience trauma. We come back to trauma again. Everybody's like, Natasha, everything comes back to trauma. If suppression leads to compulsive behaviors, right? Addiction is a compulsive behavior. It's a compulsion, right? Doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result.
Right.
If you keep suppressing your thoughts and feelings that are attached to what you have been through, right? It actually affects the vagus nerve. It rattles, it disrupts the vagus nerve. And when it disrupts the vagus nerve, that is going to then affect those areas that I talked about, the gut health, digestion, mood regulation, and heart condition. So there's a lot of medical issues that can erupt from that when we don't take care of the problem. So this is why I can't say enough that you keep suppressing things and saying, oh, well, yeah, I had that, but that's long gone. I'm not near that anymore. That's not me. It is you. It is part of you because you haven't even looked at it since it happened. I had someone say to me the other day, well, I don't really want to look at this because I don't want to feel the emotions. Okay, so humor me for a second. You don't want to feel the emotion. Where do you think the emotion is? Do you think you have it on a shelf somewhere? Do you think you sent it back to the store? I'm sorry. It's still in you. The emotion is still in you, in your head. And what happens is when the brain sensories can't handle all of that emotion, the brain shuts down and goes into survival mode, right?
Come on.
Now you're living in survival mode. And now the weight of those emotions is affecting the vagus nerve. It continues to disrupt your nervous system and your sympathetic and your parasympathetic nervous system, now causing any and every kind of medical issue you can think about. Now, somebody out there in cyber world is going to say to me, Natasha, well, my family has a genetic history of X, Y, and Z. And I'm going to say, absolutely. And that means you have a predisposition, meaning possibility. There's a possibility you are at risk to develop that whatever health issue, fill in the blank. However, if you don't take care of your psychological, if you don't take care of your environmental, and if you don't take care of your spiritual, then you increase the risk of developing that same medical issue that lines up in your family. But if you treat your psychological, you change your environment, change your lifestyle, and that spiritual we've been talking about all week, and have a spiritual foundation and let God work you from the inside out, right? Then you are less likely. I'll be 50 here soon. And
come on, 50.
My family has a gamut of health issues. I can't wait. I'm already in the grandma club, so I can't wait for that. But I have a gamut of history, medical issues in my family. And last year, I was at a very high risk for it, but I turned my diet around. I turned my exercise around. I was getting more.
You turned it around. Like, I love you use the word turned it around. Because what you said was, I have control. I still can do something about this. I can turn this around by turning again. You said lifestyle, how I live, how I operate, how I see things. That turnaround when you went back to the doctor.
Yeah, I can't change the biological. I can't change the genetic family history. But a lot of people, oh, well, I got blood pressure in my family. Okay, I think we all got blood pressure in our family, either low or high, right?
I think we all do.
And we live lives that make that a heightened response because you're always on the go. You're always rushing. You're always in a microwave moment where nothing ever satisfies you that comes slowly. So you just think about when we were in dial-up internet. Remember how long it used to take before things came? Right?
It would just be doing that look.
And we had to wait for that. Or you just think now, kids have no idea. They go on their phone and it's an instant computer that you can just type in something and boom, you get an answer. We had to go to the library. We had to go look in encyclopedias. We had to go do a lot of things to get information that is at their fingertips.
So now you're talking about something called immediate gratification. We want what we want when we want it.
Mm-hmm.
That is an addiction all of its own.
And that part right
it,
there is so much. Everybody can relate to that. Like,
exactly.
We all
but when
in
you
that
don't
stage.
get it, it puts you in a stress mode. It puts you in a fast beating heart mode. It puts you in anxiety.
Which affects the vagus nerve.
I was going to say, but which affects that. But
exactly.
Not only that, Natashah, how, like you were saying, how our family had it, right? But the family had it because they never took care of their trauma. So the trauma just kept on. So
bleeding,
then they gave
generation after generation.
And then the trauma just kept on
some
going.
of the trauma. Go ahead, Angela.
Okay, so let's just think about when you are pregnant. In vitro, you pass along all that stress, all that anxiety, all that trauma, all that trauma. So when you start thinking about why is my family predisposed to all these things? Well, if for generations you've had trauma, that is just like blunt force. When you sit back and think as a pregnant mother, if you follow down the stairs, the first thing they're thinking is, we got to check the baby and make sure that blunt force trauma did not do something, whether it detached the placenta, whether it did something, but in vitro. And so just think from a physical perspective, we understand that, but from a emotional perspective, it's like we can't get it together and understand that it all works together. It's all hand in hand. Mind, body, and spirit, soul is all together. I'm gonna come back up because I want to get Esmerie's concept.
Esmerie is over there showing
out. She said, it's the bridge between your breath and your brain, your heart and your healing. When you slow down, breathe deeply, pray, hum, or rest, whatever you can to activate safety, not weakness, we need to learn to show ourselves grace.
And show ourselves grace. I'm glad she said that part.
Going back to Mr. Wall, being 94, at some point in life, he has learned that everything doesn't deserve me to be rah, rah, rah. Sometimes I need to sit back and say, you know what? Let me take a deep breath and let me ask God. And then whatever he says, that's what we're going to do. Because we can run around trying to do everything.
Angela, because it was, I have never heard him get stern. Like he's a very like, oh, whatever, okay, we flow. But she was going back and forth to him. This was just a few months ago about getting a new car. And he said, I'm not buying no new car because I'm not going to get to enjoy it. I am 93 years old. What I look like going to buy a new car and I'm going to get to drive it for a week? Like, I'm not getting no new car. And she was like, I want a new car, but I want a new car. He said, Bonnie, you get ready to go too. You get ready to go too. So we're not wasting no money on no new car. And then he was like, because I was there, then Missy gonna end up driving. Missy gonna end up with our new car. So if we gonna go buy, he was like, if we're gonna get this new car, Missy, will you go pick out the car that you want? I'm gonna go buy it and then let her drive it for a month and then you come get it, okay?
Listen,
that was his
Missy's making out like a bandit.
Like, no, absolutely not. And then he went on and watched TV like, oh, I'm done.
He said what he said. He said what he said.
I said what I said, and it's not a lot of back and forth. But Natashah, I'm glad that you kind of tapped into this because I don't know about y'all, but y'all know like every year, every decade, there's buzzwords that, we hear all the time. And here recently, it has been the nervous system. People say, well, girl, I got to protect my nervous system. I got to protect, it's little things about, and people somehow have come to realize that all of this drama and trauma and stress and anxiety and worry and being in people's business and trying to keep up with the Joneses and all these things that we do has led us to a place where you're going to be depressed, where you're going to experience anxiety, where you can't sleep at night because you've got 99,000 things going on in your brain.
All you're saying connected to the vagus nerve. All
Sure.
of what you're saying that we're experiencing is connected to the vagus nerve. Your brain is a computer. So it sends a lot of messages of when you are safe, right? Marie used that word just now, versus when you're not safe and it's a threat. Okay. I'm going to go back to early childhood trauma once again, or any kind of trauma that you've experienced. What happens in the brain, there's a message in the brain that says that you are being threatened. Every single one of us have an automatic defense mechanism in the middle part of our brain. That's called our fight, flight, freeze, fawn system.
I was just going to say it. Okay.
Right? And so when you talk about the vagus nerve controlling the mood regulation, if I've experienced trauma, my brain registers that it's in threat mode. The front part of my brain goes to sleep, right? The prefrontal cortex goes to sleep. Prefrontal cortex is where we do all of our decision-making, all of our processing, making decisions, regulating emotion. That happens in the prefrontal cortex. But I've had trauma. So my brain shuts down the front part of my brain, pushes up, right? Like a light switch, the survival part of my brain. So now I'm in survival mode. I need somebody out in the cyber world to tell me that if you don't go and address your trauma, how do you naturally just get your brain out of survival mode and back into thriving mode?
You can't, because
exactly
it's still there.
So that means, Dr. Sparkle, we have adults running around in the world making significant life decisions. And this starts all the way at the top with our politicians. Whoever's running the country.
I was just thinking that.
Right? Somebody sent me something yesterday, and they said, in a nutshell, basically, the reason why the world is in chaos is because we have people who are operating in survival mode, doing things.
Yes, I love what you posted.
Yeah, it's really, we don't take the time, number one, to even think about ourselves and how we react and do and live and move in society. But when you start looking at the bad behavior, because you think, okay, well, I'm good. I'm not out here killing people, and I'm not out here, knocking people in the head and doing these things. But everything is a chain reaction, and we're all connected. So somebody else's bad behavior will trigger or stimulate something inside of you that keeps you from doing. So just think about, if you go around and remember during the time when 9/11 happened, and then you start thinking like Islamic people, everybody's afraid because you felt like the terrorists do this. So now you have negative reactions toward people. I just did a book with somebody. She was talking about, because of her nationality, people were, when she was a little girl, used to hurl insults at her. She was walking home from school and would just, pick on her because she was not of a specific race, or culture of people. And so because of that, she suffered a lot, had to pull it down because she didn't want to go home and tell her family that these people are saying these things about me because bullied. I don't want them to go out and fight for me, and then something happens and then they get killed, and now that's on my conscience. But we don't realize how those things play together.
And that bullying is trauma, by the way. That happened to me when I first came to the United States, and I was walking to school. I used to walk to school from where we lived. I got all kinds of names. I was called a terrorist. I won't even tell you the other names. I was called a lot of horrible things because of my nationality. That is now an added trauma that I wasn't looking for, but just being who I was, people had an opinion about it, right? Words can either uplift you or words can tear you down. Yeah. But what we need to realize as individuals is how we have allowed the external world to affect us on the inside.
Yeah.
And how we keep suppressing it and sort of taking it on the chin, so to speak. And what we don't realize is how that is affecting our brain, how that's affecting the nervous system, how that is increasing our mental health problems, how that is increasing our medical problems. And because we are not willing to invest in ourselves, we continue to feed the pharmaceutical company. We continue to feed the medical companies, big pharma, right? I'm not even going to get into that, but you guys know what I'm talking about.
I already know. Yep.
Right? And so we're just going to, and you talk about immediate gratification. I'm going to go to the doctor and get this diagnosis so I can get this pill. Right? I'm going to go to the doctor and get this quick fix. I can't tell you how many people are going to the doctor and the doctor's like, I don't know what's wrong with you. And I'll be like, I could tell you what's wrong with them.
That is so true, because the
What you say?
average
I
time
can tell
when you
you.
hear somebody say, when I go to the doctor, they can't find anything, or they're telling me we don't see anything. But you also have to be mindful, Natasha, that because we feel like a pill is going to be a quick fix, the doctor, on the other hand, sometimes is under pressure from big pharma to have you use certain drugs
Yeah,
that they
because they
get
haven't met the
kickbacks for.
quota.
So sometimes you may be getting a pill because you're demanding something. And also think about this: everything that you put inside your body, pill wise, also has other reactions and other things that
Exactly. All those
happen.
side
Because you
effects.
feel like it's side effects, exactly. So just because you go in here and get something for your kidneys, do you know that that may also affect your pancreas, your liver, your heart,
Mm-hmm.
brain? It could also stimulate something else. And so we never realize that. And going back to addictions, some people are so addicted to the 6 o'clock news and all the doom and gloom. You see it
Yes.
every day. And as much as you say, oh my God, look at what's going on in the world. Oh my God,
You
somebody
still
did
feeding
this. Oh
into
my
it.
God. So you're pouring the negativity into your
Correct.
psyche. And
Which is
every
which
time,
is a poison. It's a
exactly.
poison
So
to your
every time you
psyche.
make decisions, your decisions are based off of the world is coming to an end tomorrow because they are
Yep.
going to
Yep.
start World War III, and they're out here doing
Yep.
this, and Trump is doing that. And you're so caught
I,
up in
I
all the
mean,
things
they
that's
know
going on
Trump
in
from.
our government that your whole body is tensed. And
And
when you
meanwhile,
and meanwhile,
meanwhile we believe in God. So while we're getting all wrapped up in what you're talking about, right? Because everybody wants to talk about it and not be friends with each other, creating further disconnection on social media,
yes,
which is ludicrous to me. That
Yes.
yes.
somebody also will just stop talking to you because of that you have no control over.
Because you're a
Exactly.
Democrat and they're a Republican. I can't. Are you whatever you are?
Whatever.
Oh, so I can't even fool with them. You have people who are
Yes.
that polar and that
Yep.
black and white and how they move in
Creating
life.
division,
Yep.
right?
Division.
Meanwhile, you say you believe in God, who is a
Yep.
sovereign God, who is not here for divinity I'm sorry, not divinity, to
And who
divide
is
us,
love.
and who wants us to unite as people. So do you not
As people
recognize
unite.
that we are going against God? Forget the
Mhm.
politicians, forget what's,
Yeah.
the whole world is crumbling down. It's crumbled
Yes.
down before, it'll crumble back
Yeah.
again. But we
Yes.
have to trust and have faith in God. He's the one that's going to build that back up.
And not
Exactly.
only that, Natasha, but on our money, we want to put in God we trust.
Mm, 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 mm.
And
Again, we don't practice what we
that because
preach.
the irony of that is, in God we trust on our money, but they say the dollar bill is losing so much value. So what does
Wow.
that say?
So,
That if you're saying that
Mm.
the currency that
how
we
is in
use,
God we trust ever losing
but
any value?
think about that. In the world that we live in, is saying that the value of the dollar has decreased. But if
Yep.
on the printed money in God we trust, does that also equate to the fact that the value that we trust in God has
God has
decreased
also
as well?
decreased
You
a
know what I'm saying?
thousand
So
percent.
it's really
Yeah.
symbolic that you even said that,
Yes,
because I
ma'am.
don't think people even really realize that you say this on this money. You built the country presumably on, we believe God, we trust God, but in
Mm-hmm.
circumstances that align with what God's values are, we're so far from that. When
So
you talk about
far.
fruit of the spirit, we're in direct opposition as the world operates today from the fruit of the spirit. Everything
Yes.
that the world represents now is exactly opposite of what's in there.
I just
Fruit
bought
of the
this book.
spirit. I know.
I just bought
Look
this
at
book.
how
It's a 90-day devotional.
But look
What
at
did
how you just pulled that out. We never even, again, wasn't even on our mind to be talking about the fruit of the spirit, and boom, look at that. That's why
And that's part of the fruit of the spirit. If you look at it and you break it down, it's all out of love.
Mhm.
It goes back
It's
to
all
love.
rooted in love,
it's
not
love and
fear.
it's cousins, baby. You know how you say,
Yeah.
look, it's all related. It's love and it's cousins coming in and giving you
And coming
how you should be.
and trying to break it down to you in another way. Maybe you'll get it in the fruits. Like I keep on telling you to walk in love and love. Like God kept on, like his word keeps saying the same stuff to us over and over and over. Fear not. Like if you look at chapters and you look each one of them, relate. If you go back to John's, if you go to First John, if you go to First Peter, it's all saying the same thing. Maybe you will get it if I put it in Proverbs.
It's not, it's not even so much about you saying it. We as a society is struggling to implement, practice.
You're right.
These things that we're learning.
Which goes back to what we
That's
said
totally different than just saying.
Correct.
It goes back to what we said about Fred Jones talking about how, at the Grammys, you give lip service to God, but do you really believe him? Because if you do, how you move in the world shifts. How you treat other people shifts. Not just
so I've always
because I'm a Christian, it's not the universal cure-all. We may think that it is, but it's not.
But people think it is.
I'm a Christian. That's supposed to make everybody stop back
and listen. Say, I want to be across the board equal on this. It's not just the Christian. Across all religions, even in Alcoholics Anonymous, right? In all these groups that we have out here in the world, we are walking and saying we are this as if that is supposed to be some kind of an umbrella to protect you or make you be seen in a certain light. But I could pick at least one person in every group that is just one. Kind. I could pick one that isn't practicing what they're learning. I even see that this is one's going to hit hard for anybody out there that is a clinician. I see a lot of clinicians in the world that want to go out there and become therapists and tell people how to live their lives, but the way that they're living their lives behind the scenes does not align. Who are you to tell somebody how they should be living their lives when you are not willing to walk that journey with them, or you haven't already been there? Where exactly is your wisdom rooted in? Where is it coming from? And I'm not knocking anybody. I want people to understand that
deeper into it. Like you say, Natasha, it is not, we have to stop being a society of just looking for the quick fix or the quick money, because sometimes it really is, people choose careers not because that's their passion or their purpose. It makes good money, and because it makes good money, that's the direction you move in, or because it has a great title and you feel like it's going to give you value.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. You're miserable because you're not A, pursuing a passion. B, you're not looking to what the God of your understanding actually has for you versus what you think you want for you.
Textbook counselors, baby.
Yes.
Right.
It's that textbook, and everybody wants to be one. Like, it's so many like everybody has some kind of title that they're trying to drive from. Like, once I make it to that title, they feel like I have arrived now.
Listen, and there's so much inflated ego.
Natasha, you better tell them the reality is, if you're not healed before you get the money, before you get the title, before you get the marriage, before you get the baby, before you get the whatever, if you are not healed before you get it, it's not going to miraculously, a marriage license doesn't miraculously make you somebody better.
This happy go woman now.
You now I'm an H into a W into a housewife, but at the same time, can you really, if you haven't changed those ways? You may be a housewife and still keep the same ways. You may be a bad business person, and just because you have gotten in here and gotten this title doesn't mean that you're automatically going to be like, poof. Oh, yeah.
Well, and that's what they teach you in recovery. In AA, we learned that just when you have a recovery lifestyle, it's not just about you saying something. If you don't maintain a healthy lifestyle, you will relapse.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are fearful of relapse. Well, I don't want my loved one to X, Y, and Z. That's great. But your loved one has a personal responsibility to themselves to recognize their behaviors, recognize their mindset, recognize how they're feeling, and do something about it.
And do something.
Right?
You said the word, and do something about it.
I had a conversation yesterday, because do you know the average person does not take accountability for their actions?
Correct.
You blame the system. You blame everything and everybody.
I'm a black woman. I'm
like, you know what? I wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing. Yes, I was the one that did that. You want to make sure that you look clean. What they say, throwing rocks and hiding your hands. You want
It's
to
that
make sure that
integrity. Nobody
it
has
doesn't come back
integrity.
on you.
Correct.
It's
Yes,
the
it doesn't come
integrity.
back
So
on
this
you.
is why I love, and you hear me say a lot about Alcoholics Anonymous. In Alcoholics Anonymous, where there's 12 steps, and with each step, there's a spiritual principle in those steps, right? And integrity is one of them. Humility
Wow.
is one of them. Now, all of those spiritual principles are rooted in a bigger book, which what they mean by the bigger book, because in AA it's called the big book.
Mm-hmm.
Those spiritual principles are rooted in the bigger book. You ready for the bigger book? The Bible. Let me give you another reference. I've studied Islam, Judaism, Hinduism, Christianity, and Buddhism, and found that those spiritual practices are rooted in all major religions.
Yes.
So take away your customs, take away your norms, take away your daily practices with that religion that man has created, right? And let's all go back to practicing spiritual principles. We would be living in a very different country today as a result of that.
Absolutely.
I'm going to get Ethel Marie's comment. She said, we need to get out of fight or flight mode and stop living as if every moment is a crisis.
Amen.
Survival may have protected us once, but it is not meant to be our permanent state. Growth, peace, and purpose require regulation, rest, and the courage to respond instead of react.
Amen.
Amen. Like all you can say to that is amen. Like that was powerful. But how many, like we can say this over and over and people still want to say, well, I was born in the wrong family. Like I mean, you know, the family I came from, we came from not nothing. So okay.
I saw,
but you don't have to say that.
It is absolute truth, but you don't have. That does not have to be your belief system.
It doesn't have to be a crutch for you to stay with there.
So those two things are right. It doesn't have to be a crutch, but it becomes a crutch if you stay stuck in that belief system. So you're both right 100%. I saw something not long ago that says, although I'm not responsible for the trauma that's been inflicted on me, I am responsible for treating my trauma.
But I'm responsible.
I need everybody to hear that. There was a young man the other day on, I don't know if it was a TikTok or whatever it was, but he talked about, we sit out here and we want to blame somebody. We want to blame our parents, right? But your parents were children once. And that is a message that I hope I tried to convey in my book, right? I'm not here to blame my parents. My parents also came from trauma. And as a result of their unresolved trauma, that's how that bled into my life, causing the effects that it did. But I didn't want to sit in that any longer, right? We were all children once. And at the end of the day, when you take it all back into the beginning of time, we are all God's children. So at the end of the day, please turn to him and let him be the one that heals you. Now, a lot of people say, well, all this bad stuff happened to me, and where was God at that time? And I would say to you that if you actually took the time to establish some spirituality, you will learn that God was there all along. A very simple definition for spirituality. Spirituality simply means an inner reflection of self. Taking time and doing inner reflective work. That's what spirituality is. I think a lot of people get that confused and be like, well, I'm not going to get into religion in order to be spiritual. And there's just so many myths out there about it. It's about you going on the inside and facing your demons. It's about you going on the inside and looking at those scars and looking at those things that have been holding you back and causing those limiting beliefs and saying once and for all, I'm not going to allow that to define me. I'm not taking that with me. It is not who it says that I am, and I'm going to move forward. The reason why a lot of people struggle with that is because when I'm surrendering to my past, a lot of people feel powerless when they're surrendering. They feel weak when they're surrendering. So what happens is, if I don't believe in a power that's greater than me, then what am I falling into? Am I just going to fall on my own and fall on my, excuse my language, but fall on my ass, right? But if I have a foundation in believing that there's a power greater than me, there's some hope in knowing that when I let that go, and I truly walk away from that, there's something on the other side to catch me.
It's something on
That's
the other
good.
side to catch me.
That's good.
Natashah, it's so funny that you said that. For the longest, how bad I totally, and I can use this word, and I shouldn't have never felt like that. I hated my dad. I hate, like, the sense of his name drew up, like, it drew up something in me. In his presence, it made me feel nasty, like, oh, you're so disgusting. But when you come to the realization that, are you gonna let him control, like, you're gonna let your emotions of how you feel about this person
take over.
Nobody should ever have that much power over you. And I'm saying that to say, release your power that you have given these other people, even the government, even not having the finances, all this. You cannot let that control your life, because, like you said at the beginning, you're going to die early of all these illness because of what you said. Here you go. You can have my life. You can have it.
Well, I'm not a fan when people say they made me mad. There is not a human being on this planet that is that powerful to make me feel any type of way.
That powerful,
right? But if I allow them to make me that mad, that's on me, friend. That's not on them. They can continue to behave poorly because I'm not going to manage my expectations about them. But I am not going to let that rattle my parasympathetic nervous system or my vagus nerve, right?
And every time it's just throwing up.
Like, when we're healing for real, trying to get to that point. And what it made me think about, Natashah, as you were talking, do you know how in life, we have clothes, and you start thinking about your closets, and you start thinking about the clothes that you have that you very rarely even wear, but it's so much packed in, and you go and buy more and you pack it in, and you start thinking, I need to get rid of some things, but you don't really want to get rid of it. But you've outgrown some of that's outdated, but you don't get rid of it. You don't give to somebody else. You don't allow somebody to come in and help you pack it up and take it away.
You're attached.
The more that you hold on to, because you're attached to it, the more that you hold on to the clothes in your closet, the harder it becomes to introduce new things into your wardrobe.
Yes.
So now you just keep pushing and packing,
Great analogy.
Next thing you know, when you're packing and pushing so much, what happens? The thing that is on at some point pulls from the walls and collapses because
it has happened to me.
So that goes to the issue of what you said. As you deal with this trauma, do you know how many people have severe neck pain, shoulder pain? You don't know where it comes from, but you hold on to so much.
Oh, that's so good.
Chronic pain is a number one sort of red flag to help you realize that you've got buried pain inside of you. Yep. It manifests itself into chronic pain. So when people are complaining about the neck pain, the back pain, you have to learn where you as a person store your emotions. I know when I have not journaled or I have not done some deep processing, because inside my shoulder blade,
it's all right here,
is so tight that I can't turn my neck.
Yes.
That is not me. That is not a sign to go to the doctor. That is not a sign for me to go take a pill. It is a sign for me to do some inner reflection and get myself spiritually aligned.
Oh,
right?
And so
rest allows you, like you said about Mr. Walls taking frequent naps. Rest, good rest, because it allows you to release. A lot of times you can take naps and go to sleep and sleep all the time. Some people who are depressed sleep all the time.
Correct.
But it's not good rest because you haven't truly released the issues and the problems.
Correct.
But when you are whole, when you are healed, when you are healthy and you take naps, it's power. You know how they say, oh, let me take a power nap. You wake up refreshed, you wake up and you can accomplish more because you've allowed your body to rest and reset. Yeah. So it means that at some point in time, you got to recognize triggers, not only with triggers that upset you and make you cry and upset and weak and mad and all those things, but physical triggers, because when your neck starts hurting, what are you holding on to or dealing with that you haven't released that you need to go to God in prayer, go seek somebody who you can trust and that can help you to unpack some of the things that you've been carrying around for years that you refuse to let go?
How about you just stop and breathe? Marie
Yeah,
said it
I was getting
earlier.
ready to say the same
Take
thing.
a minute
What
and
if you just
exhale.
Yes.
Yeah,
stop
just
for a moment?
exhale for a minute.
Don't accept the invite. Like you don't have to go to everything. Don't accept it and use it for your time to sit, your time for you. Like I need some alone time. Alone time to me is critical. Like I need this time because if I don't, then the neck is saying I'm not holding all this. I'm not. I mean, the neck is like really for real. Like I'm not doing this. The shoulder, like I'm not doing this. You're gonna wake up tomorrow and can't move because I'm not carrying all this.
Which, by the way, that's where the vagus nerve is located. So we're just gonna come right back to that vagus nerve again, right? So we're having pain. We're blocking the vagus nerve from doing what it's supposed to do for our heart, for our digestion system, for us to be able to regulate mood. So it all ties together. I am such a nerd when it comes to the brain because I learned in my recovery journey how much of my brain, not just using substances, rewires the brain, but how my inability to manage myself, mind, body, and spirit is tied to my brain. We focus on our outer body. We focus on muscles and abs and all these other things. And the most important muscle for me in my body is my brain.
Is your brain.
And we don't do enough to exercise it. But that's a whole other day and a whole other
Thursday. I think it's so beautiful, and I know we got to get out of here, but I want people to really sit back and think, what is it that you can do that is going to release some things inside of you? And maybe start small with, maybe it is journaling. Maybe I do need to write a letter to my older self, or write a letter to somebody who traumatized me or brought drama into my life. Maybe you don't want to go to that person and say, you know what, I've allowed you to jack me up, because they didn't jack me up, allowed them to do so. But maybe it's journal writing. Maybe sometimes it's a song that I just started listening to by October London. It's the older song, but it's Mulholland Drive. But he says, it's about that time I need to ride. Maybe you need to just get in your car and take a drive. And just allow yourself to just, look at the countryside and just release and not be stressed.
Again, exhale. Do something to exhale.
Yes, but you need to a long, relaxing bath. Maybe you need to just.
Yes.
What is that you need to do? It is self-care for you, but it allows you to calm yourself down and bring peace back into your life. Because when we talk about healing for real, it is being in a state of peace. So you live your life without feeling this tension, this stress that's constant. Because some of us, you need goody powders or BC powders all the time, because there's something going on where, my head hurts, girl, my neck hurts, my back hurts.
You need them Tums every time you.
Yes.
Listen, sometimes it's just a simple hydration and drinking more water than drinking an iced tea or drinking sodas or whatever it is that we're consuming. Just drinking water. It's something that I do. I have 1 cup of coffee in the morning right now. That's it. And I drink strictly water. And I've learned how much I was dehydrated. I would drink. Don't get me wrong. I would drink a lot of things.
Like you can't think straight. Like it. Think about it. When we was in our mother's womb, what was we in?
The body is made up of what, Natashah? 70, 80%. How much percentage?
I don't know the exact. You're in the ballpark. I don't know the exact number, but I want to say like 80% water, something like that.
So we got to go back, and I'm gonna go back to when you started even talking. Marie has said the vagus nerve is your body's reminder that peace is a practice, not a personality.
Yes, ma'am.
That is what the whole thing.
Go ahead, Marie.
Yes. Can you imagine Marie and Natashah together in one setting?
Oh, that's nice, Paula.
That is a setting. Let me tell you.
Paula said,
Natashah and think about the amazement that God has put you around. Like, you can't tell me God don't care about you when He's putting the people around you. I'm just so grateful for my circle. Natashah, I can pick up the phone and call her. Marie, I can pick up the phone and call. I have a personal connection. So why are you over there getting ready to have a nervous breakdown when you have people,
the resources?
If you are not disconnected and can't get to God, he said, it's okay. My daughter can help you. This daughter can help you. This daughter can help you. This daughter can, like, think about what God puts around to make sure that you can have that life, that you
and then when you don't use it, you go, God, I asked you for help, but you didn't show up for me. Right? And again,
like the man in the boat that said, look, I need somebody to rescue me, but you don't realize that he done send ships, he done send all kind of things. He's like, no, I'm waiting on God. God is looking at you like, boom.
This is so good. Like, this is the conversations I want to sit around. I don't want to sit around these conversations talking about booties and who cares about all that? Sit around a conversation that I can take into here and into my inner and say, oh, Natashah taught me that. Wait a minute. I know what that is. Hold on. I might can't pronounce the word, but I know what that was. Hold on.
What you say? Somebody, parent somebody, put something, or whatever she said, baby. Look, I'm
but I know it's something.
She put the word out, baby. I don't forget what she said, but honey, I know that I'm releasing this tension in my
just start with the Vegas, VAGUS, 5 letters.
I'm not even spelling it right. I'm in Vegas for real. VEGAS.
Because what goes on in Vegas stays in Vegas. No, it's
Vegas.
VAGUS. Listen, Paula's coming because I think that is such a good thing that people should take out for themselves. She said she lives in Sacramento and she took a ride to Los Angeles, got her a room at the Comfort Inn, and just relaxed and spoke with God.
Nice.
Sometimes you need to realize. Some people may say, well, why would I spend money and go into give me a room? Sometimes you need to get away from the environment
because you're worth it.
Come on, Natashah.
Because you're worth it.
Because you're worth it.
Like people saying healthy food costs too much. I'm not going to eat healthy because it costs too much.
Okay.
You're not worth. You're expensive. If y'all didn't hear my little thing about being expensive, you need to understand everything about you is expensive, and you should pay the money. Because you're
point blank, period. But also think of the fact that because we do experience stress and drama and trauma and anxiety and worry, you do that inside your home. And sometimes you have created a anxious environment in your bedroom because that's where you look at all this crazy TV and all these, other things that you do that get down into your spirit. So sometimes you need to get away, invest in a room where no emotion is tied to it, so that you can relax.
Let me go get me a room. Get a room and put down that telephone. Like they used to be like the telephone. Put down the telephone.
Listen, I've done with my clients technical like a technical detox, technology detox, where you don't watch TV, you don't use your phones. Try that for 24 to 48 hours and don't reach for it. You'd be amazed. And a lot of people are like, well, what am I supposed to do with my time? That's the point. Discover what you like and what brings you peace. A lot of us aren't even aware of how we allow so many things in our day-to-day to distract us and keep our minds off of ourselves and off of God. So I like that. I think maybe we should do a meditation retreat where we teach people how to sit with themselves and not use their phones and use their laptops and all the things.
I said thanks, and I feel so much better. It was my self-care. And well-deserved. Everybody
well-deserved. Thank you for loving you. Thank you for choosing you.
On yourself. Some people say, oh, I don't have time to fix me some tea, or I don't have time to do this. Indulge yourself. You are worth every moment of that time and every dime that you spend. You are worth it because you would do it for somebody else.
You would.
Do it for yourself.
Give yourself some of that.
That's Marie says, run that checkup.
Yes, it's to run that check up. Boom.
Run it up. Run it.
Miss Phillipson just we told her we should done a long time ago. We got to get up out of here.
One thing, God, when you run that check up, one thing God will do is provide.
Because what? It's his will. It's his what?
If it's his will, it's his bill. And I am his will. So that means that, God, I'm your will. So here you go. Here go your bill. But we gotta realize that. We gotta take that in. But we gotta go. It has been a Thursday to remember forever.
And just so y'all know, Natashah won't be here tomorrow. So don't be like the people at the church to be like, well, Natashah ain't gonna be here.
That's why you shouldn't have told them, because they might not
y'all
show
know how
up.
they do for the
You
pastor.
know,
Like, the pastor
people.
said he ain't gonna be here. Pastor said he ain't gonna be here. So look, we ain't coming this Sunday, baby. We're gonna take this Sunday off.
Stop it.
But guess
You
what?
guys'
She'll be
experience has
back
been here
Tuesday.
from the
She'll
beginning
be
of
back
time.
Tuesday. She might not be here tomorrow, but she will be back Tuesday. now make sure you put that down.
It's ready for you this morning. Go start that song.
I believe God. Do you believe